Hello, fellow duelists. This is Shadow of the Moon, and today I want to show you an updated deck profile of my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck for January of 2023 this year. So, this deck has actually went through a major change. I do know that there's plenty of lists out there that actually make it more Dragon Link focused, or make it just they kind of gotten rid of the burn. But I have actually tried a lot of those strategies, especially one that was actually posted up on TCG Player about all the burn strategy isn't that good, but I still find that the burn strategy tends to be the most effective way to actually be able to win the game, because you're essentially burning for 1,500 points, and then if you have this guy, which is the Meteor Black Comet Dragon, which allows you to burn for an extra 1,200. So they have about 5 turns before they can do anything before they burn themselves to death. And this deck actually does have the Bestials in there. This deck also has some of the Kashtiras, but they are very pricey. So if you feel more comfortable using the branded engine, I don't blame you. There's a lot of fusions that you can use in there, and it is essentially a lot more of a budget deck. This deck is not a budget deck. I'm going to just say it out loud right now. Say it before you get out of hand. This is not a budget deck. I'm actually using a lot of the cards that I got through the 2 booster boxes that I had opened with Dolphy last month for around December. So just keep that in mind. And there's going to be some changes in this deck that you're going to be wondering, like, why aren't you using this? Well, all that usually works with this deck. You're not using this. To me, I prefer to just keep the deck as is, because I've actually found more success with this strategy than I have with anything else. And that's the good thing about Red Eyes, is that you can pretty much splash it with just about anything, and it makes it pretty worthwhile and good. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as a Blue Eyes deck or the Dark Magician deck, because there's not really been much support. So hopefully there's going to be new support, coming, that has already been announced since last year, so, or to 2021 even, and hopefully we'll be getting that stuff soon. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and go straight on into the deck profile. So obviously, you're running 3 copies of your Red Eyes Black Dragon. I have the original starter deck Joey ones because I thought it'd be appropriate. This is the main cornerstone of the deck. The object is to get these into the graveyard, all of them, as quick as possible, to be able to go into your multiple copies of your Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, which is very important with this formula. And then you have 1 copy of your Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. This acts as an honorary Red Eyes monster, because it is, and also can count and brings the Red Eyes count up to 4. So you should have a total of 5 different Red Eyes monsters in here. So there's an easy way to be able to bring them out. And then you have Malefic Red Eyes Black Dragon. Malefic, if you have a field spell, you can banish a Red Eyes monster to special summon this card from your hand. So obviously keep in mind, if you do not have a field spell, this will get destroyed. But if you have that card that gets banished, you'll be able to bring it back using the Darkness Dragon, the Black Dragon of Steel or whatever. So it works in either way, and it does count as an extra monster. And then the MVP of the deck, one of the best cards, Black Metal Dragon. I wish I had this ultra rare or super rare version or whatever in here, because they're so good. This is not a once per turn, so as long as you keep recycling this using cards like Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, or you're using all the cards that allow it to come back, and then you send it to the graveyard. This allows you to add a Red Eyes card, not monster, card from your deck to your hand. So you're basically constantly abusing that and recycling it, adding cards from your deck to your hand, and then just constantly going from there. Then you've got 1 copy of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This allows you to special summon a Red Eyes monster from your graveyard. So obviously you're going to be bringing back the Black Metal Dragon, or allows you to bring back a Dragon type monster. So you're going to be obviously bringing Black Metal Dragon and continuing with the combo. And then Tempest Dragon Roar of Storms. This is a great way to add another level 7 body on the board, because it counts if you just banish 2 dragon or 2 wind monsters. Mainly you're going to be doing it for the dragon types. It allows you to special summon it, and it's a once per turn actually, so you can do it again on the following turn. And then you have 2 copies of Noctovision Dragon. Now, these are in here for the Kashtira unicorns, so I cannot afford them. I actually was able to pull 1 unicorn and 2 the Fenrir, so just keep that in mind. These would be in place of unicorn, so if you have unicorn, take these out. Otherwise, these are still a great substitute, because if you special summon a Dark Dragon type monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and it also has a really great secondary effect. And then for the Chaos, we obviously have the White Dragon Wyvern Bustard and the Black Dragon Collar Serpent. So this is going to be going into Chaos space. Use it for that, because you banish a light monster to special summon this, and you banish a dark type monster to special summon this. So it does kind of really help with the strategy. And then we have actually knocked down the rocket engine to 2 cards, Tracer and Recharger. This is all you're going to need. This is mainly in here so that way you can go into the combo with Guard Pisty, go into the combo with Diligence Dragon, which allows it to get special summoned, and also this is in here for the Queen Dragoon Djinn, which I am still running. If you choose not to run that, that's completely okay. However, you will not be able to get all 3 of them. You'll actually have to go through a lot more hoops. That is the main reason I've got them in here. So yeah, I actually was able to knock them down to 2. And then for the Bestial Engine, so 1 Lebellion. This guy is amazing. This can also, if you have a 3-card combo, which I will be showing in a combo video soon, if you have this in your hand or in the graveyard, you can potentially end on this. 3 Red Eyes Black Metal Dragons, and then, or 3 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons, the Dragon Dark Steel, and then this guy and Queen Dragoon Djinn with your branded Beast Trap for your opponent's turn, so it's a great interruption. And then we have 2 copies of Druid Swarm. Obviously, this is kind of like your banish card from the hand. Very useful. 2 copies of Magna Hut, which is still very good. And then, obviously, if you had another Magna Hut, you could replace one of these Bestials with Senior. I only have it in here because I only have 2 Magna Huts. And then 2 Bestials Sorenir, which round out to 7. That's all you're going to really need. And then we're going to be using the new Kashtira engine. Now, I'm looking forward to the new Kashtira, the card that comes out, basically the E-Tele, which is like the emergency teleport for Kashtiras, which is really going to speed this deck up when it comes out, and it's probably going to be super expensive, so I'm going to try to grab it as quick as I can. But this is, if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand, and it allows you to add a Kashtira spell and trap from your deck and place it onto the field, which will really be useful because Kashtira Rebirth allows you to play level 7 monsters basically without tribute, and it's just a great extender for the deck. So that's going to be it for the monsters. Let's move on to the extra deck. So obviously 1 Red Eyes Insight. No, I am not using Red Eyes Dragoon, and I'm going to exactly tell you why right now. I have had way too many games. I feel like Red Eyes Fusion was just a slap in the face to any Red Eyes player. It kind of it's like you cut the legs off of the Red Eyes archetype, because when you have Red Eyes Fusion, pretty much what you're going to be ending on is Red Eyes Dark Dragoon set 2 pass, which anybody nowadays, that's like child's play. That's like taking candy from a baby. Everybody can do that. They can easily get rid of that. And I didn't feel like it was strong enough, and it was really worth it because it was also a brick in my hand when I would draw it, and it would also be a brick if I had Dark Magician, because I could get rid of Dark Magician, but still Dark Magician, if I had no way to summon it, yeah, it was a brick. But with Red Eyes Insight, you only need 1 copy of it, and this is mainly searched using the second time you're using Black Metal Dragon, because this will allow you to send a Red Eyes monster from your deck to the graveyard to add a Red Eyes spell and trap, meaning Red Eyes Fang with Chain from your deck to your hand. And then 3 copies of Quick Launch for that Rocket Tracer. 2 copies of Chaos Space. If you wanted 2, you could take out one of these cards and add another Chaos Space. I like 2 because this allows you to add a monster, a lighter dark monster, that other than the one that was discarded, like vice versa, from your deck to your hand, which is very useful. And then you have your Dragon Shrine, which Dragon Shrine is a great way to dump Lebellion into the graveyard and also be able to get another Red Eyes into the graveyard or any other monster that you would need. And then you have your field spell copy of Dragon Ravine and your Boot Sector Launch. This is mainly in here for discard fodder. This is in here for the discard effect, for the discard effect and send a card from the deck to the graveyard, which you're going to be sending Tempest. And then you have 1 copy of 1-for-1 to get Black Metal Dragon on the field. And then you have your Kashtira Birth, which allow you to normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing. And then you have your Branded Regan, which works very well with this deck. And then for the last 2, we've got 2 traps. You've got Branded Beast, and you've got your Red Eyes Fang with Chain. I still love playing with this deck. A lot of people say that it's a brick, it's useless. I actually really like it because it allows you to double your attack, and the monster that has it can attack twice, and then if the monster gets destroyed, you can actually equip it to the card. So, I mean, it works very well in my opinion. Alright, so that's going to be it for the main deck. Now it's time to go to the extra deck, and the most controversial thing that's going to be happening yet. Alright, Meteor Black Comet Dragon. I'm playing this over Dragoon because of the burn, and this is a burn deck, so I'm playing one of the best burn cards. Then you have Red Eyes Metal Dragon and Red Eyes. You have 3 copies of these. These are the main cards in the deck. This is going to allow you to go full combo and burn your opponent for 1,500 every single time they so much as breathe. That is why they're in here. And you're going to see why the Meteor Black Comet Dragon's actually in the deck, because you're probably saying, Shadow. Like, why you don't have a way to be able to bring it out? Actually, I do, and I'm gonna show you. So you have 3 of these in here, and then 1 Heradic Dragon King of Atom. This is a way to bring out, because you're using the Bestials to go into this because they're all level 6s, and then this is gonna allow you to special summon a dragon type monster from your deck, but just negate its effect and attack and defense 0. But it's another way to get another dragon on the field. And then Queen Dragoon Jin, which will help you go into your triple Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. And then you have your Darkness Metal, the Dragon of the Dark Steel. Great card in here to be able to special summon a banished or monster in your graveyard. And then you have your copy of IP Masquerena and Unicorn. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. I'm not running Dragon Spheres, and I know that's a shock. I know that's actually a really shock to people. If you want to, you could play that, and then you could play Draco Berserker, or you could play Borreload Savage Dragon. But, okay, first off, with IP Masquerena, it's a great interrupt, because if you do have a card in your hand and you special summon Unicorn with its effect with IP Masquerena, that card cannot be destroyed by card effects, meaning it's easily to be protected, and it's 2,200. Also, you discard effect to bounce a card back to your opponent's deck. If you do it from your hand, chances are, like Heavenly Spears, they're going to be able to play something again. So, and there was a lot of games where I never even touched spears in this build, or even in the last build. I rarely brought it out because it rarely was useful. I found out my IP Masquerena and found out that it worked so much better, so I decided to keep it in there. And then we have 1 copy of Proxy F Magician. This guy's going to help you bring out your Comet Dragon, because all you have to do is it acts as a polymerization or an instant fusion for the 2 cards on the field that you have. If you have a Red Eyes and you have a level 6, that's going to help you go, and also lets you special summon a level 4 lower monster from your hand if you fusion summon using that effect. And then we have obviously the Quadboro, the Diligentous Dragon, and the Romulus. So these are all very important in the deck. That's what makes the deck Dragon Link. Then you have your 2 rank 1s, your Guard Dragon Pisty and your Striker Dragon. This helps the combo start off, because this allows you to add Boot Sector Launch, and this in tandem with Black Metal Dragon is going to allow you to get Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, and yeah, so on and so forth. So yeah, that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's pretty controversial. I know a lot of people are looking at me like, why aren't you playing Heradic Spears? Why aren't you playing... But one thing that you have to understand about Red Eyes, in my opinion, is that first off, we do not have that much support. We pretty much have to be very creative, and there's really no wrong way to play Red Eyes, in my opinion. If you have a way to do it and you feel comfortable with it, by all means, go for it. Play the Red Eyes how you want to play it. And when you're playing Red Eyes, you have to keep in mind, if you're going for the turbo build like this, you want to have your opponent still activate their effects. If you have, like, endless negates, you're not really going to be able to kind of, like, do anything, because you're negating their effect. You're not taking the damage because you're negating the effect. So that's why I have it in here. And honestly, this is a great deck. It's a fun deck. I wouldn't say it's not competitive, because it's obviously Red Eyes hasn't been competitive in, like, never. So, but if you're looking for a great deck and you want a really fun way to do it, this is the way to go. I highly recommend this. This is also very expensive, so if you're not able to afford a lot of the cards in here, you can go ahead with branded Red Eyes. It works just as well, and it is just as fun, because you're spamming fusion summoning monsters from the extra deck without having to fuse for them, and it's a great way to play Red Eyes. So that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it, and with that, I'll see you guys next time. Later.